Yo, what's going on YouTube? Oh my gosh, there's so much I want to talk to you guys about. There's a lot of stuff that's happened over this, 3 or 4 month gap that I've been pretty much MIA. First off, real quick, I'm going to talk about the video itself. So in the video, I'm using Adobe Illustrator. That's one of the softwares that's a part of the Adobe suite to recreate the Nike Kobe 1 Protro Undefeated. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm basically going over each section to kind of recreate that shape, and then I'm choosing a color afterward, and if I need to, I can break down that piece into multiple pieces to get a gradient going. Now with people, this technique doesn't really work too well, but whenever you're doing something like a physical form or a shape or like the texture of a shirt or something, you can actually get pretty good results with it, and it looks pretty good overall. So I've been working with a lot of digital illustrations like this recently, so I kind of like this style. It's kind of been my go-to style for how I do things, so I think I'm going to include a lot of videos like this on the channel as well as other stuff. But before I get into all that, let me kind of go into why I've been away for a while. So if you want the quick reason, I've just been lazy. I know that's not like a really satisfying reason, like, it's not like, oh, I was, out away in Alaska for 4 months and I had to, go with just a backpack. I didn't have a car, I was hiking. I wish it was that interesting. I really wish it was more dynamic, but unfortunately, I was just really lazy. Now, there are some legitimate reasons why I was away. Now, all of this started when my iPhone broke. So for those of you that know, I use my iPhone to record all of my videos. I had another camera, but I really couldn't figure out the camera too well, so I just depended on my iPhone. And out of nowhere, one day at work, it just broke. Like, I laid it down on the desk I was working at. I went to go click on the phone to kind of get the time real quick and see if I had any notifications. And it didn't really work, so I figured I might have accidentally turned the phone off. I go to reset the phone, turn it on, and it's not turning on. I had the iPhone 7, so after the 6 or whatever, the home button is not really a button. It's kind of like a vibration sense thing. So whenever I would go to press it, it wouldn't do anything. So it was like really weird. I had no idea why it wasn't working, and then long story short, I go to like a local phone repair place in my town. We're able to find out the exact reasoning why the phone isn't working. Luckily with the iPhone, you can plug it into iTunes, like through your computer or whatever, and it will show you what is the specific error with your phone. Unfortunately, with the error that I had, it wasn't something that any local guy could fix. I would have had to send it out to Apple to get fixed. Now the problem with that, when I originally got my iPhone, I had it with Verizon. Since then, we went over to T-Mobile, so whatever protection or guarantee I had for the phone originally was only with Verizon. It didn't carry over. And even if it did, I would only have that coverage for a year or whatever, and it was beyond a year at that point. So I still own the phone because I paid the phone off. But unfortunately, if I wanted to get it fixed through Apple, I have to pay the money out of pocket, which was, I think they said like $350. But the only good thing about that is like, yeah, it's $350, but they will fix it. Like, they're Apple, they're meant to do this. So they can fix my phone, and if they can't fix it, they would give me a replacement or something. But that was still a lot of money, and I didn't want to spend that much money because I didn't really have that much money to spend on fixing a phone that I didn't expect to break. So me and the guy at the phone repair shop were talking, and I'm like, man, $350 is going to be a lot. I don't know if I can do that. Is there any other local guy or, somebody relatively close that can fix it for cheaper than that? And we did some research, and we looked at a guy on eBay who was offering the repair services for a bunch of different phones. He had a repair service available for the particular phone that I had for that specific error. Now, long story short with that was pretty much a scam. It was way cheaper than going through Apple. It was only like 40 bucks, and the idea was I was going to send them my phone, they were going to fix it, and then send it back. That was dumb on my part because I thought I can get away with this problem with spending a lot less money than I would have had to, instead of just doing it the way I was supposed to, which was through Apple. And basically, when they got my phone, they pretty much said, sorry, we couldn't fix it, we'll trash it for you, we'll send you a refund. And I'm like, what? No, that's my phone, you can't just throw it away. Just because you can't fix it doesn't mean you're going to throw it away. Obviously, they weren't going to throw it away, right? They were just saying that because, that's their impression that they want to give off. But then they were going to keep the phone and use it for whatever, whether it be for parts or to try to hack into it. I don't know. So when I realized that that's what they were going to do, when I got that message, I immediately contacted Apple and I locked the phone up. So even if they were able to fix it, they weren't able to get into my account. However, the problem with all of that is that I was without a phone for a while, and that really killed my spirits because one thing I took for granted with my iPhone is that I had everything connected to it. I had so many different apps that I was connected to that I automatically got notifications for, that when I didn't have my iPhone, I didn't even realize how many things I was missing, And that didn't help because then I got kind of backlogged with schoolwork, and then all of that kind of snowballed from there. And then it was just like, I was in a really depressed state because that was my phone that had everything. And then if I wanted to get another phone, that's a whole nother plan out of pocket that we couldn't do. But to make that whole story really short, ultimately I was able to get on a different plan with my father because I couldn't just get another iPhone through the plan I was with my sister, because I guess her credit wouldn't allow it or something like that. But I was able to switch lines, go with my father, and we were able to get me a new phone. And what's interesting is, literally I think yesterday or 2 days ago, I got a package in the mail, and it was weird because I wasn't expecting a package. I'm looking at it and it's addressed to my name, KicksArt. So it wasn't my actual name, was KicksArt, right? My brand name. So I thought it was weird. So I opened the package, it's like an envelope, bubble envelope, and I'm looking at it, and sure enough, my old phone, my iPhone 7 was in there. So because, you know, naturally when this whole process was happening, I wasn't like quiet about it. I was emailing the seller, hey, you guys got to do whatever to get me back my phone, because if not, I'm going to get the police on you. And that whole phone scenario was a mess because, think about it, I live in Florida. I had sent it out to a P.O. box where the guy lives in New Jersey. So for me to go through the court case and say, hey, I sent these guys my phone, they said they couldn't fix it, and now they're going to throw it away, can we do something about it? To go through that whole process with the court is going to be a few $100 at least. And the problem is they live in New Jersey, so it's not like they live in my town where we can just sentence them to go for a court hearing. So we would have to go through the state laws for New Jersey to try to get them to come to Florida for this hearing or whatever. And like, the point is, it would have been a lot of money to go through that process just to get back my phone. You know, it would almost been the price of the phone itself just to get back. So like, you see how it doesn't really work itself out. So I sent the guy a message saying that there would be legal actions being taken, even though I had no legal actions I could really take. And thankfully it was, you know, 2 months or 3 months later, but he did send me back my phone. Now, the phone is still broken, I can't use it, but I'm using my iPhone 8, which I got through my new plan anyway, so now I have a phone again. I can finally be connected to everything, and I have a lot of notifications for everything, and oh my god, I've been away for so long, and I get it. And again, part of the reason why I've been away is because of the laziness on my part, where, you know, that whole situation with my phone really killed my motivation to want to do this. It really killed my drive, and I just got stuck in that slump of just being lazy, and I kind of accepted it. And then I just kind of had to slowly just pick myself up out of that little slump. Day by day, I just slowly kind of got out of that. I spent an hour or two trying to do this time lapse. I'm using OBS. If you guys are wondering, I'll put a link in the description. I didn't know this was free. I thought you had to like spend a lot of money to get screen capture software or whatever for your computer or whatever. So this is free. It's a good solution. It's actually working pretty well for me, and I have a terrible laptop. I don't know if I've mentioned the struggles of my laptop before, but this thing is terrible. I hate it, and it actually works pretty well, so I'm pretty happy about it. So I like to include these kind of videos with the future content that I have coming up. I think it'd be really cool, and it's fun for me to do too. So, and what I love about the digital illustrations is that it allows me to do stuff that I'm not able to do by hand. Like, I can't get this crisp of detail by hand. I'm okay by hand, but not to this level, and it allows me to get a lot more color variants going that I don't have, so it just mixes up the content on the channel in a way that I like, and I think the end results are pretty good regardless, so I think you guys will like it too. So yes, I am back. Am I going to be making daily videos? To be honest, I don't know, but I'm going to try. At the very least, I'm going to try to put out good content that you guys will like. I'm going to try to go for daily. If not, I got to make sure that I just don't allow myself to fall deep into that pit of not making videos, because at that point, if it's beyond a few days without reason, then it's just pure laziness, and I'm going to need your guys' help. If you ever see me, 2-3 days without a video, I'm gonna need like some question marks in the comment section, like, where is this boy at? Where he at? And I saw all those comments of you guys asking where I've been. You guys are the real MVP. Anybody who's watching this video right now, again, thank you so much. I think for my first video back, it's good that this video is gonna be kind of long, because you guys deserve a long video, just to show you guys how much I appreciate you. And I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about. We have so much basketball stuff that's happened. Oh my god, this is crazy. I don't even know where to start. So we'll just start with what just happened last night. So last night, LeBron and the Cavs advanced. LeBron is going to his 8th straight finals. His 8th straight that's insane. Like, this shouldn't be happening. This guy has been, and like, let's look back to the beginning of his career before he was even in the NBA. He had these accolades: the chosen one, the king. He was destined for greatness. People knew how good he was back in high school, and he has well exceeded all of those expectations. Whatever expectations people had for him back when he was in high school, he has far exceeded that, and he still has like another 6 years left of prime LeBron James basketball in him, at least. And when we look back on his career, like, his numbers up to this point are crazy too. 30,000 plus points, right? Sure, his record in the finals isn't going to be too great. And I was watching a video earlier. I forget, it was on one of those like sports morning shows. I love watching those things, by the way. I love all the debate shows. Isaiah Thomas, not the short one that's like still kind of playing and just kind of bouncing around from team to team. I'm talking about like the old school Pistons Isaiah Thomas, the bad boys, right? He was taking a look at it from the perspective of, okay, who did LeBron lose to in the finals? And he mentioned, besides that Dirk's Dallas squad in 2011, he's lost to the Warriors twice and to the Spurs twice. And when we're talking about those teams, those are dynasty teams, right? Those aren't scrubs. Those are great all-time level teams. So besides the Dallas series that he should have probably won, he's lost to some pretty good teams. And he's also beaten those teams. Not as many times as he's lost, but he's still beaten them. Granted, in that whole discussion, he was kind of talking about how he feels at this point LeBron is a better basketball player than Michael Jordan is. Even though LeBron still got another 5 or so years left to add to his resume. To be honest, I didn't watch Michael Jordan. I started watching basketball in 2009. I kind of liked basketball and kind of played it for a few years before that, but 2009 is when I really started watching basketball. And sure enough, that was the year that the Orlando Magic went to the finals. They got thwomped by Kobe and the Lakers, but still, that was still cool to watch, you know, my quote-unquote home team advance to the finals and to kind of see that whole squad come together, because that was a great team. I'm not gonna lie, that was fun. Young Dwight, when he was good, when he was hungry, and they had a lot of three-point shooters. But back to LeBron and the Cavs. So yeah, he's made it to 8 straight finals. That's crazy. And if he would have lost, think about it, if he would have lost that game 7, we would have remembered, okay, he went to 7 straight, and then he was 1 game away from getting to 8 straight. But now we don't even have to think about that. He's been to 8 straight. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the finals. He's probably going to lose. That's not his fault. I think he's going to play amazing, regardless of what's going to happen, but his team's probably going to lose. I like the Warriors and I like the Rockets over the Cavs. If I have to pick, because those two teams are playing tonight, I'm going to say, I don't know, without Chris Paul, I think the Warriors are going to win. And it sucks because I really want the Rockets to advance. Because, you know, the Warriors, it's fun seeing that dynasty play out. It's interesting being in that time where we can watch this happen. But I just think the Rockets or the Cavs, if either one of them won, it would be a great paradigm shift for the league. And it would really make a big difference. Now, granted, at this point, if the Rockets don't advance, then there might be a chance I could see LeBron James going to them. I don't know what's going to happen in the offseason. I think we're going to have another crazy offseason. Also, let's kind of talk about that, like the state of the NBA. So last offseason was a crazy, like offseason 17 was when moves were made, right? A lot of moves were made. And we also saw a lot of really, really good young talent over the course of the year rise up. All these rookies, Jason Tatum, Ben Simmons, you could argue about that, whatever, but still, right? Donovan Mitchell. And then we still, like, Lonzo Ball played pretty well, I would say. He was injured. But then Kyle Kuzma on the same team, that Lauri Markkanen kid, he's pretty good. I don't really watch Bulls games, but I know he's pretty good, right? We'll go with that. And I love seeing these young players make such a big difference in the league right off the bat, because it immediately makes the league a lot better. When you have like 5+ rookies immediately changing the league, changing their franchises, and adding a big boost in terms of talent to the league, it's awesome. It's going to get to the point where, you know, in a few years, maybe 5 to 10 years, the league is just going to be so packed with so many good players. Like, even if your team sucks, like my Orlando Magic, we're still going to have a few players on that team that can ball every night, and it's going to be great to see. But if you ask me as far as this year's goes, I think the Warriors are going to take it. I'm not too happy to say that, but they are a great team. Dynasties do happen, so I'll give them their props. And then lastly, I'm just going to talk about some school stuff, kind of get you guys caught up with how that's going with me. I have about a year left, a little under a year left. And this last year is really interesting because, again, the way my school is set up, the classes are split up in quarters. So as opposed to going 2 semesters a year, you're going 4 quarters a year. It's 11 weeks on, 1 week off, 11 weeks off, 3 weeks off, and then it doubles that. So that's pretty much how it's set up. So you have 4 classes in a quarter, and these classes are only 11 weeks long, so they go by pretty quick. And the way these classes are set up this last year is now you start applying everything that you've kind of built on, and you start working with your classmates for real clients. So I think in 2 quarters from now, we're going to have a class called NSAC, and the way that works is there's like maybe going to be 10 kids in that class, and it's like a national class or something. Again, I don't really know too much about it because I don't really ask, because I don't even want to think about that right now. But basically, your class works on this project for 2 quarters, so overall 1 semester. and you ultimately have to present your project or whatever somewhere in Orlando. So I live about 2.5 hours from Orlando, but like a lot of different, I guess, classes from different colleges or whatever of students go and they present whatever, and it's for like big clients. So I think this last year they did it for Ocean Spray. They do like a lot of juices and stuff. So if you ever go down to like Publix or whatever, or any supermarket, you've seen Ocean Spray products all over the place. So that's actually pretty interesting, but it's interesting, but it sucks. It's the dynamic of, okay, you have to work with the other classmates, even if they're not good, even if they don't care, right? I'm not saying I'm the best artist, but I try to care when other people's, grades are on the line. So, and not everybody cares. That's just how it works. So it's an interesting dynamic to balance all of those personalities, all those emotions, and to still produce something that's pretty good. And granted, the people that I'm going to be doing this with are the same people I've kind of been with during this entire path over at my school. So there's like, I don't know, maybe 40 or 50 classes that ultimately you need to graduate based on like the 3.5-year program that it's in. So naturally, a lot of these classes have had the same students in because of the way we've kind of wound up, because they take students every quarter. So naturally, new students are always funneling in. So it's interesting to see how this whole thing turns out. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of footage coming up. But yeah, guys, I think I've been rambling on for a little bit much. But again, I think you guys deserve a good long video for my comeback. I intend there to be a video tomorrow. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to have one. But definitely leave your comments down below. Tell me anything you want. Again, if you guys are mad that it took forever to get back, I understand. Thank you to anybody who has watched the video since then, anybody who's been watching my stuff from the beginning. If you guys are watching this video right now, thank you so much for watching. Ultimately, I would love this channel to be like a lot of basketball talk, but then I want to have separate segments where I just talk about random stuff, almost like in a podcast format. There's a lot of stuff I want to do. Even though I did take a long hiatus, I did have a lot of ideas of stuff I wanted to do. So whenever I was finally ready to get up off my butt and do this stuff, I have a lot of good and interesting ideas. I think you guys are going to like what I have in store. And I'm not going to make any promises, just I'm going to do what I have to do to roll out the content. And then over the course of time, we'll see how that goes. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. If you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Tell me anything you want. If you have any questions, I'll probably answer them for tomorrow's video. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.